Hello and welcome to the Traybakes and More Cooking channel. I'm Callie and today I have got what I consider to be the classic Northern Irish traybake. This is 15s. It is digestive biscuits, marshmallows, cherries, condensed milk, all mixed together and rolled in desiccated coconut. It is super easy to make. It is perfect if you want to do some baking with your children. It's super sticky as well, but the end result is super delicious. 15s. Right, to prepare your ingredients. Marshmallows. Traditionally, pink and white marshmallows. If you can only get white, then that's fine. It's not going to affect the taste. But I managed to track down some pink ones here in the US, even though they're not just as common. So cut these into quarters with a sharp knife or even with a pair of scissors, kitchen scissors. If you find the blade of your knife or your scissors is getting a bit sticky, just dip it into your biscuit crumbs and coat it with that. Also traditional in 15s is glacé cherries. Now, I know a lot of people out there are not actually fans of glacé cherries, and I've heard of all sorts of substitutions that people have used instead of the cherries, but we're keeping it classic today. So you just want to cut those up into quarters, small pieces again, just like the marshmallows. And then you just need to crush your digestive biscuits. I like to do this by hand. I find that digestives are actually soft enough to be able to crush just easily with your hands. But you could also crush them in a food processor, just blitz that around until you get fine crumbs, or put them into a freezer bag and bash at it with the rolling pin or even with the bottom of a heavy saucepan, something like that. And then we just kind of mix it all together. So I have my digestive biscuits crushed. I have left a few larger chunks of biscuit in here because that's the way I like to make my 15s. And now it's time for the marshmallows and the cherries. This is sticky. I'm going to get in there with my hands and try and coat everything in the crumbs to make it a little bit less sticky. The marshmallows will try and clump together. So just get in there, get it mixed together, evenly distributed throughout the biscuit crumbs, and then we'll move on to the condensed milk. Okay, you saw the marshmallows tried to clump together. The cherries even tried to do it as well. Pull them apart, coat them in the crumbs, make sure everything's just nice and evenly distributed here. And then we're going to pour on the condensed milk, and this is where things get seriously sticky. Right, for the final stage of preparing your 15s, this is where it gets pretty messy. I have a sheet of baking parchment. Greaseproof paper, which I have scattered with a little bit of desiccated coconut. I've got half my mixture in this. You can obviously make this as thick or as thin as you want. If you do want to put it into a tray, you can do that as well. I would line it to make it easier to come out. Sprinkle some coconut on the bottom, press this in, sprinkle coconut on the top and leave it to set. But we're going the traditional route, and this is the way that I learned to make it, so this is the way we're making it today. So, into a rough log shape. I've got the coconut on the bottom. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of coconut on the top as well. And then I'm going to bring my paper up here. And then roll it backwards and forwards in your paper, push the ends together. When you've got the shape that you want, just sprinkle it with a bit more coconut, wrap it up nice and tightly and into the fridge to set for a few hours, and then you slice it up and you've got 15s. Here we go, it's been in the fridge for a couple of hours, everything's set, nicely firmed. Slice it up into as thick or as dainty little pieces as you want, and here you have it, classic Northern Irish no-bake 15s. So keep an eye out for more recipes, subscribe to my channel, tell your family and friends, and I'll see you again soon on Traybakes and More.